Hi everyone and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. Thank you very much for coming to join me today. And today we're going to be doing the Warren's Team Talk Matchday live show. And we could be looking at all the 3 o'clock kickoffs up and down the country, but with particular emphasis, as it always is, on the Premier League. So yeah, thanks very much for coming. I hope you're all well and having a great day. Before we get started, can I just please ask you to put a like on the video and also to share the video around and put a like on it and all that sort of stuff for me, please. Thank you very much. I'm sorry about the delay in getting you notified about all of this, but yeah, it's been a bit mad the last couple of days. So anyway. We got a chat already here. The Blue Podcast has come in, and thank you very much, mate. I hope that you're well and having a great day. And he's put 2 blue hearts in, so fair play to him. Yeah, so let's get on with it. So, like I say, it's the Matchday Live today, and we're going to be looking at the kickoffs at 3 o'clock in the Premier League and also all the other games up and around the country. And Taib's in the chat and he's saying, hi, Warren. Hi to you, mate. I hope you're good. And Del Boy's in saying, hi, Warren. Hi, mate. I hope you're all right. I'm good, thanks. And Taib says, hi, Del Boy. And Del Boy says, hi, Taib. Right, now, before we really get going, there's just something I need to say, and it concerns what you can see on the screen in front of you. And as you can see, it says the chorus of The Angel by Louis Dumford will be played at the team huddle pre-match during tomorrow's game against Leeds United at the Emirates Stadium. I'm sorry, but what the fuck is all that about? Why do we need to go and get some fucking wanker to write a song for Arsenal Football Club? We have got a song, all right? Why can't we have that played? Why can't we sing that when they're doing the fucking huddle? It's a fucking joke. And that wanker smiling like a Cheshire cat. I'll be fucking smiling like a Cheshire cat if I just signed a contract for £8.5 million a year. It's a fucking joke. And I tell you what, for those of you who don't know what this song is, it's a traditional Arsenal song. And it goes back decades, right? But this club seemed to want to fucking eliminate everything about this club's famous history prior to that new badge coming out in 2002. Well, I've got fucking news for you lot. I will not fucking stop until that song is start played again in the Emirates, right? Ringing around the fucking stadium, all right? And I tell you what, let's have a little sing-song. And here we go, everyone. Good old Arsenal, I'm proud to say that name. While we sing this song, we'll win the game. Good old Arsenal, we're proud to say that name. While we sing this song, we'll win the game. Yeah, so fuck them. That's what I've got to say. They've got no respect for this club's history. They don't give a shit about us as supporters. Get the fucking lot of them out. Out, all of them. Vinay, Edu, fucking Arteta, Garlic Head and the fucking owners. None of them have got a fucking clue about this club. Out, the fucking lot of them. I tell you what, if we set them an exam, I doubt that one of them would get more than about 10% in the fucking exam. They are fucking embarrassing. And I'm sorry about my language, but I'm absolutely furious. So, yeah, well, that's the end of that. And I'm telling you, if I was at that game tomorrow, I wouldn't be singing that fucking song. I'd be singing Good Old Arsenal. loud and proud. I'm telling you, that fucking bullshit. Honestly, bullshit. So anyway, let's get on with it. And Taib says I'm not a pheasant plucker, but a pheasant plucker's son, and I'll sit here plucking pheasants till the pheasants plucking's done. Good, fair play to you, mate. Fair play. So the Premier League table, as it is at the moment, there was no lunchtime kickoff today. And as you can see, the top four is Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea. Arsenal are 3 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal are 2 points behind, 2 points ahead of Tottenham, who are in fifth. And Taib says, we want our Arsenal back. Yeah, exactly. Either sing the good old Arsenal song. Well, sing the good old Arsenal song when they try and play that bullshit song when they're doing the huddle, and sing it loud and proud so those wankers get the fucking message. And then all through the game, just keep singing it. We want our Arsenal back. 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 Non-fucking stop all through the game. So those dickheads like Kroenke and all the rest of those cunts get the message and get out of our club. Get them out. The whole fucking lot of them. This fan base pisses me off the most. Yeah, all of them. Fucking get them all out. If they don't fucking like it, then they can fuck off. They can fuck off down the lane. Go and support a club that will accept mediocrity. And then Man United are in 6th. West Ham are in 7th. Wolves are 8th. Brighton are 9th. Newcastle are 10th. Leicester are in 11th. Palace are in 12th. Aston Villa are in 13th. 14th are Brentford. Southampton are in 15th. And then the bottom 5 is Burnley. They've played 34 games and have got 34 points. Leeds are in 17th. They played 34 games and got 34 points. Everton are in 18th. They played 33 games and have 32 points. Watford are 19th. They played 34 games and have 22 points. And Norwich are already relegated. They have 34. They played 34 games and have 21 points. So what it means is that today, if Watford lose, they're relegated, because that will mean they'll have played 35 games with 22 points, and it will mean they're only able to get a maximum of 31 points, and it means they won't be able to catch the 4th place team because Leeds have got 34. So if they don't win today, that's it. They're down. And even if they do win today, and Watford and Burnley and Leeds both win over the weekend, they're down. So they have to win. No way, two ways about it. And this fan base puts me off the most. Is Taib. Our Palace in Wonderland under Vieira in mid-table finish, I suppose, is okay for them. I think that he's done really well, given that they were in a bit of a mess when he took them over, to be honest. So, yeah, I think they're doing all right. And I think next year they'll probably kick on even more. So that's the league table. So the 3 o'clock kickoffs today, we've got Brentford against Southampton, Burnley against Aston Villa, Chelsea against Wolves, and Crystal Palace against Watford. Then, so this is the Brentford and Southampton teams for today. In the starting 11 for Brentford, we got Raya, Aya, Jansen, who's captain, Beck, Henry, Norgard, Jensen, Ericsson, Mbuemo, Wissa and Tony. And on the bench for them, they've got Lossi, Da Silva, Geneva, Fasu, Baptiste, Jenner, Ruslev, Stevens, Young Coombs. So, yeah, that's the Brentford lineup. Southampton's lineup is Fraser Forster, Carl Walker-Peters, Jan Bednarek, Mohamed Salisu, Romain Perraud, Ibrahima Diallo, James Ward-Prowse, who's captain, Stuart Armstrong, Nathan Redmond, Armando Broja and Adam Armstrong. On the bench, they got McCarthy, Lianco, Valerie, Romu, Elianusi, Teller, Adams, Long and Diblin. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Right. So, Southampton are going for a 4-3-3 formation. And Brentford are going for a 4-3-3 formation. And Southampton, as you can see, they're going for a 4-4-2. So, Burnley, their lineup for today is Pope, Roberts, Tarkowski, Collins, Taylor, Lennon, Cork, Brownhill, McNeil, Weghorst and Barnes. And on the bench, they've gone with Hennessy, Lowton, Cornett, Peters, Bardsley, Stevens, Long, Thomas and Costello. And Aston Villa, they've gone with Martinez, Cash, Concert, Mings, who's captain, Digne, McGinn, Chambers, Douglas Luiz, Buendia, Ings and Watkins. And on the bench, they've gone with Olsen, Feeney, A. Young, Nakamba, Orig Bunham. There you go, Taib. I'm sure you enjoyed that one. Sansom, and Chukwuemeka, Coutinho, and Traore. So that's the Villa and Burnley lineups. The formations for them, Burnley are going with their traditional 4-4-2, and Villa are going for a 3-4-2-1. Looks a bit like a Christmas tree, really. And then Chelsea against Wolves. Chelsea, their lineup is Mendy, Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, James, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, Alonso, Pulisic, Lukaku and Werner. And on the bench, they've gone with Azpilicueta, Chalobah, Christensen, who's that? Sarr, Barkley, Saul, Mount, Havertz and Ziyech. And the Wolves lineup is Jose Sarr, Johnny, Willy Bolly, Connor Cody's captain, Romain Saiz, Ran Ait-Nouri and Leander Dendonka, Ruben Neves, João Moutinho, Raul Jimenez and Pedro Neto. And then Ruddy, on the bench they've got Ruddy, whoever, Marcel, Trinciao, Silva, Ohia Lino, I can't even read that, Totti, Wang and Kundal. So that's the lineups for Chelsea and Wolves. And Chelsea are going for a 3-4-1-2. And Wolves are going for a 3-5-2. So next up is Crystal Palace against Watford. And Crystal Palace, they're going with Butland, Klein, Guayu, Anderson, Ward is captain, Hughes, Gallagher, Eze, Olise, Edouard and Zaha. And Watford, they're going with Foster, King, Cleverley, Kamara, Cathcart, Sissoko, Firmino, Samir, Sarr, Dennis and Kayembe. And on the bench, they've gone with Bachmann and Nagakia, Bebo and Trusicon, Maxina, Cerna, Gosling, Carpalise, and is that Cartu or Carlu? I can't really see. So that's the lineups for Watford and Palace. And Palace are going with a 4-2-3-1. And Watford are going for a 4-3-3. So there you go, guys. That's the lineups. So let's just take this back. Where should we take it back to? Right, there we go. Let's take it, leave it on there. And let's get back into some of these chats. And the key videos, North London forever. Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal forever, mate, as far as I'm concerned. If you're referring to that, the key videos, if you're referring to that song that they want to sing during when the huddle's going on at the game tomorrow, I'd like to know why it is. If we've got a song already, an anthem that's been around for the last 50 years, why that's not good enough, and we have to go and get some muppet who knows nothing about Arsenal to write a song for the club. It's just, in my opinion, mate, it's an absolute joke. But I don't know, because I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. And Tyke says, there goes Warren's pronunciations up in smoke, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Trouble is, I can't read properly because the writing, the fonts are so tiny that I'm struggling to read even how they're spelt, let alone pronounce it. Joanne says, hello, Warren, my lovelies. I've had a Reiki today and a reading brought a broom and a wand. Fair play to you, mate. I hope it does some good for you. Ty says, hi, Joanne. And liked and said, says Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. And the McManus Gaming, hi, everyone. He says, and, the McManus Gaming, are you the same guy as the McManus Sense, or is that a different McManus? But hello, the McManus Gaming. Thank you for coming in and joining us. And Giant says, hi, Taib. And the key videos, who's excited for Arsenal's new song tomorrow? I don't think we need a new song. We've got a perfectly good one, and it goes, good old Arsenal, we're proud to sing that name. While we sing this song, we'll win the game. Good old Arsenal, we're proud to sing that name. While we sing this song, we'll win the game. So I don't understand why we need this bullshit new song that's got nothing to do with Arsenal and doesn't even mention Arsenal. It's fucking embarrassing. I'm getting a witch to make me a sign with a picture of Charlie on it. Oh, bless you, Joe. And that would be lovely. And the key video says, well, I'm going to go to bed, buddy. Why do I need to go to bed? I'm fine. The key videos, don't ignore the signs of tiredness. I'm not tired. I'm perfectly fine. I'm referring to the constant yawning, by the way. Well, okay. Sorry about that. The Manus Gaming. I am the same at Manus, mate. I've changed my channel, mate. Is all. Want to concentrate on a gaming a bit more. Oh, fair play to you. Nice one. Yeah, so anyone who hasn't subscribed to this channel from Manus, please go over and check it out and subscribe to him. If you want to put it in the chat, mate, the link to your channel in the chat so that people can just click on it, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to do that, Manus Gaming. That would be absolutely great. So, yeah. So the business about this song tomorrow, I'm sorry, I just think it's embarrassing. Why do we need another song that doesn't mention Arsenal, has got no affiliation to Arsenal? The only thing that I can see that's got anything to do with Arsenal is the fact it's talking vaguely about North London. It's embarrassing. Thanks, Warren, says McManus Gaming. People who keep banging on about this Arteta nonsense and all this other crap about what the club's doing and he's doing this and doing that, need to learn the history of the club. You need to go and find out about the history of the club before 2002 and learn about the club in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, because there was an Arsenal Football Club, people, before 2002, believe it or not. James Dunlop says, afternoon, Warren. Afternoon, all. Hi, James. How you doing, mate? I'm all right. I'm just in a bit of a bad mood after all that crap yesterday with that clown signing a new contract, and also this bullshit I've heard today that we had to get some guy in to write a song for the club when we've had a perfectly good song for the last 50, 60 years anyway. It's embarrassing. Joanne Smith says, I spent some money today and it's not gone in. Right, I spent some money today and it's not gone in Stan's pocket. Oh, in Stan's pocket. No, fair play to you, Joanne. I don't think any of us should spend any money on that club. I heard about the news on Arteta yesterday. Not a shock for me. And you have to question the lack of ambition from the board. Mate, it's absolutely shocking. This clown is not going to do anything for Arsenal Football Club. He isn't. You know, when I think about the great managers we've had in the past, the great players we've had in the past, you know, the great matches we've had and games we've won and cups we've won and titles we've won, I find it embarrassing, man. I really do. And then on top of that, we had, I'm going to show you something else because I'm not sure if you were here earlier. Yeah, we had this crap come out this morning. I saw this on Instagram. The Chorus of the Angel by Louis Dunford will be played as the team huddle pre-match during tomorrow's game against Leeds United at the Emirates Stadium. Have you ever heard so much bullshit in all your life? Why do we need to get this Louis Dunford fella to be writing a song for the club? We've already got a perfectly good song. Fuck knows how much money they paid him for doing that as well, by the way. What a waste of fucking money. And I'm sorry, I've watched some of that song and the video is just like shows a bit of the ground and shows a bit of scenes from around North London. There's no mention of Arsenal in the song, in the lyrics or anywhere. What the fuck has that got to do with Arsenal, except for the fact that the video is being shot in and around the stadium, but around the vicinity of the stadium. It's fucking embarrassing. You know, no players are in it. As far as I can see, there's no action from the games. What a load of utter bullshit. That song, for me, was written by people who ain't got a fucking clue about what this club's all about. Fucking embarrassing. Get these wankers out of my club now. Fucking wankers. McManus Gaming. Well said, Ryan. People think Arsenal started in 2002. Also, the fact that fraud has been given a new contract is a disgrace. This club is a joke and no ambition at all. It does my head in. Yeah, and anyone who's watching this and is going to that game tomorrow, when they do that huddle, don't sing this fucking bullshit song. Start fucking booing. Booing. Or sing the good old Arsenal song, because that is complete and utter Arsenal Football Club of the 2022 Arteta bullshit. That's all it is. I fucking hate this club sometimes, and it breaks my heart to say that, but I do. They're only using the chorus. By the way, I couldn't give a fucking shit, mate. We've got a song. We don't need another fucking song. We've got a song. It's good old Arsenal. And where in that fucking song does it mention Arsenal? It's embarrassing. The key videos. North London forever, whatever the weather. These streets are our own and our hearts will leave you never. The Arsenal forever will be our home. Right. So that says it all, doesn't it? Fucking says it all. What a load of utter bullshit. What do we need a new song for? We've got a song that was perfectly good and it's been sung for fucking decades by our supporters, right? What's this bullshit all about? Why do we need a new song? It's bullshit. Fucking get these fucking clowns out of my club. They're a disgrace. Most of the Arsenal fans in the ground will probably sing that tune. Oh, yeah, they fucking will, because they're clueless dickheads. They've got no fucking... They're only out in the ground because they want to be seen in the ground. That's it. They've got no fucking love for the club whatsoever. I agree. You've already got a song. Why change it? It's just bizarre. Mate, it's fucking mad. It is. It's mad. They're trying to fucking disconnect the club from anything prior to 2002 when that fucking new badge was brought in. That is what it's all about. And for me, it's all bullshit. Embrace change, Warren. Ha ha. Well, you think it's funny, do you? I'll tell you what, mate. You think it's funny? How about this? I've blocked you, you cunt. Now fuck off and don't come back. Right, so let's get on with it. Where were we? Let me find... Right, so let's get on with it. It's nearly 12 minutes past 3, so the games have been underway for a little while now. So let's stop talking about this bullshit football club and see what we can see about what's going on with these games. Right. Okie doke. So we got that. I'm just going to... I'm just going to make sure that I share the screen. Right, so here we go. So And there's been a goal already, guys. There's been a goal. Let's go and check that out, see what's happened. Right, so let's go and check that out. And so let's have a look, see what we can see about that goal. So, right, so the goal for Burnley, for Aston Villa, it happened in the 7th minute. Danny Ings, Aston Villa, took a left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom left corner, assisted by Emilio Buendia with a through ball. So there you go. Villa have a 1-0 lead at Burnley already. That's good news for Watford. The rest of the games, and there's been another goal. The rest of the game, I was about to say the rest of the games are 0-0, but it's not the case. So, so we've had a goal for Brentford. Brentford are 1-0 up. They've just scored in the last couple of minutes. And it's now 2-0. They scored 2 goals in quick succession. Dear me. And right. So Brentford 1, Southampton 0. Pontius Janssen, Brentford, right-footed shot from the left side of the 6-yard box to the high centre of the goal, and that was assisted by Ivan Toney following a corner. The second goal for Southampton, for Brentford, was scored by Johan Wissa. Brentford, right-footed shot from outside of the box into the bottom right corner, and that was assisted by Christian Eriksen. So there you go. Brentford are 2-0 up at home. Yeah, they're 2-0 up at home against Southampton. So fair play to them. So there we go. And what's happening now? Let's have a look at the scores. So currently, it's 15 minutes gone, more or less. It's Brentford 2, Southampton 0, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 0, Wolves 0, and Crystal Palace 0, Watford 0. So there you go. Some more comments in the chat. Let's go and have a look at those. I agree. You already got a song. Why change is just bizarre. It is, James, and the fact you know what that song is, tells me how well known that song is. So what the fuck do we need to get another one for? And I'm telling you, it's because they want to disconnect the club from anything that happened prior to the new crest coming in 2002. That bloody plastic one with the badge. The cannon ain't even facing the right way. No other club would do it. Imagine if Liverpool got rid of You'll Never Walk Alone. The fans would be an absolute meltdown. Yeah, they would. And I know, James, that you come out to the Z-Cars music, don't you, at the Everton. Can you imagine if they tried to take that away and replace it with another song or another piece of music? the thing you've been coming out to. Fucking, how long you been coming out to that Z-Cars music? Because that program was on TV when I was a kid. I can remember I was about 5, I think, when that program started. It's an absolute joke. So Arsenal's plan is to stop being Arsenal. Exactly. All the Invincible stuff has been taken down at Colney, and they don't want to put pressure, as they don't want to put pressure on the players. Change our song, move us from hybrid. Yeah, it's an absolute disgrace. That's why we need to get these clowns out. I'm focusing on the final day in League 2. As it stands, Exeter will be champions. Is that right? Well, fair play to Exeter. Good luck to them. McManus, well, we'll probably be playing them in a couple of years in League 1. McManus Stevenson says, hi, Manus. Nice to see you, mate. And Manus Stevenson says, will Arsenal win tomorrow morning? Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll beat Leeds. But I think it's going to be a really tight game. Maybe 1-0, 2-1, something like that. The McManus Gaming, continuing on from our last comment, it's like they're trying to stop Arsenal being the Arsenal I knew and loved and moved us away from everything that made us Arsenal. What's next? On binary players. Yeah, probably, mate. Listen, last night on Del Boy Gunner TV's channel, we had a big discussion. It went on for hours and hours about what happened yesterday and the state of the club. So go and check it out. It was absolutely superb discussion. And it got me really, really riled up. I'm telling you. So go and watch that. It's superb. And give Del Boy some love. And give some love to Jez and to Kyle. And make sure you subscribe to all their channels. The links are in the description. I'm going to go through the channels at half time because normally I like to do it before the game starts. But unfortunately, today we ran out of time because we had some idiots in the chat talking bollocks. Joanne Smith says, I mean, Stan's pocket. I mean, laugh out loud. Yeah, I knew what you mean. Eventually, I worked it out, Joanne. Don't worry. And Taib says, why don't cannibals eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Exactly. Well, it would certainly taste for the Arsenal ones, would certainly taste funny. That's for sure. We do, Warren. If Z-Cast was taken away, there would be murder at Goodison or at the new stadium in the future. Yeah, mate, definitely. That, honestly, it's just outrageous. There's certain things that you do not do. James says Forest Green already up with Exeter as well. Northampton are 2-0 up at Barrow, and as it stands, they've got the third automatic spot in the bag. See that Forest Green team, like Forest Green Rovers. I went to see them play a side really near to where I live called Tunbridge Angels, and that was when they were in Forest Green were in the Southern League. Honestly, there was probably about 1,000 people at the game, 1,000. And they had these two absolute beasts of centre-backs. And we had this forward. He was really pacey. And he skinned them. And he broke through. And the keeper come out and he sort of brought him down under the challenge for a ball. I don't think it was necessarily a penalty, but what was out of order was that while he was laying on the ground, because he got slightly injured in the challenge, the forward, these two centre-backs started giving him a kicking, and it was right in front of where me and my mate were standing, and we were like sort of leaning over the barrier, like shouting and screaming at the referee to come and fucking protect him. And the guy's laying there on the ground with his head round his hands round his head, trying to protect himself. and these players are giving him a kicking. He's fucking out of order. So I'm not a big fan of Forest Green, I'm afraid. Hi, Cheeky said, hi Ron, I just learned something about Arsenal, and that is today is the 16-year anniversary of Arsenal moving out of Highbury to the day. I had no idea, but I learned from Lee Gunner, Kenny and Jez. Wow. Jeez, there you go. See, that's something else. It pissed me off even more. Pissed me off even more. And they don't even... Because I'd forgotten about that. And they don't even want to use a traditional Arsenal song, or it's sickening. Absolutely sickening. I want all of them gone. And I want the club to bring back this beautiful badge that's on the screen there. And I want them to reconnect the club to its roots and all its tradition and its culture and ethos and everything that made the club great in the first place. And I bet you James probably thinks the same about Everton, because both of our clubs are going through and being dragged through the mud. They really are. In the playoff race, Sutton United are winning at Harrogate 1-0, but below the playoff place on goal difference behind Port Vale, Tranmere still 0-0 away at Leyton Orient. James, do you ever go and watch Tranmere? By the way, Ravel Burton, Joanne, he says. And Jez Collins, afternoon, everyone. Hi, Jez. Hi, mate. I'm still absolutely raging if you're wondering. I've already blocked one person today for talking crap. So I'm not in a good mood at all. James Dunlop says, afternoon, Jez. And Jez Collins says, hi, James. In those 16 years, the Arteta lovers were born to chat absolute crap, laugh out loud, mate. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Tayyip says, hi, Jez. Right, so let's carry on and see what's going on. So it's still Brentford 2, Southampton 0. It's still Burnley 0, Aston Villa 1. It's still Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. And it's still Crystal Palace 0, Watford 0. And it's, how long has it been gone? It's 25 minutes gone in the games. So we're about halfway through the first half. We're just over halfway. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I just want to mention, I want to give someone, another team a big shout out. Let me just bring it up. So you go, Celtic won 4-1 today. What that means is that Celtic are almost certainly going to be Scottish Premiership champions. So fair play to them. Great day for all Celtic supporters to wrest back the title that got taken away from them last year by Rangers. And my mate is absolutely hopping about it. He really is. He sent me a few texts already, and he's in full celebratory mood, I can tell you. So, yeah, well done to Ange. He's done an absolutely fantastic job at Celtic. He was able to really turn around the fortunes of that club very, very quickly. He didn't need 2.5 years, a youth project, a lot of PR bullshit like this manager's needed, and still not be anywhere near winning a title. He's done it in his first season, so fair play to him. Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted about it. I am, really am. But this club, Arsenal, I'm sorry, but we're a fucking embarrassment. It just it's breaking my heart. It really is. So Burnley 0, Aston Villa 1. Neil Johnston, BBC Sport at Turf Moor. Aston Villa have a better record on the road than at home under Steven Gerrard, and they're good value for their lead at Turf Moor. They could do with 3 points here, as 2 of their last 4 games are at home to Liverpool on Tuesday, and on the last day of the season away at Manchester City. Lots of time for Burnley to get back into this, but they are yet to test Emilio Martinez. And yeah, another top quality player that we let go. Emi Martinez, he should have been number 1 in my opinion. Common with a lot of Arsenal fans, real Arsenal fans, wanted him to be number 1. Not that I've got anything against Bernd Leno. I think he's a competent goalkeeper, but I just think Emi was better. So yeah, there's been a yellow card. Your book, son. Yeah, so there's been a yellow card, and the yellow card has come at the Chelsea game, and it's gone to Chelsea captain Cesar Azpilicueta. He put his arms out to stop Pedro Neto's run and gets booked. So there you go. Azpilicueta goes into the book. Burnley 0, Aston Villa 1. Time wasting in the 25th minute. Aston Villa's goalie, Emi Martinez, is in no rush. Where are we? Where's it gone? Yeah. Aston Villa goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, is in no rush at all to take a goal kick, and gets a bit of a talking to by referee David Coote. So there you go. He's time wasting already, and he's only 20 minutes gone. Jesus God. Crystal Palace 0, Watford 0. Crystal Palace, despite their possessional dominance, cannot find a goal as a corner is taken short, but Michael Olise's shot is blocked. Watford then break, but nothing comes of it. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. Another chance for Wolves. A cross is half cleared by Ruben Neves. It's half cleared to Ruben Neves, who has a crack from long range, but it hits Raul Jimenez on the way through and goes wide. So there you are. So let's look at some of the chats. And Jez says, hi, Taib. And James Dunlop says, I've been to a few Tranmere games over the years, but with having a season ticket at Everton, sometimes both teams have the home games on the same day. Yeah, I can well believe that, mate. And I remember back in the day that Tranmere Rovers, they always used to play on a Friday night so that their games, home games, didn't clash with Liverpool and Everton's games, so that they could attract more fans to the stadium. And I think it's a good idea. I really do. And there's been a goal somewhere. There's been a goal. Let's go and check that out, see what's going on. And it's come at Turf Moor. It's come at Turf Moor. It's come at Turf Moor, and it's gone to Aston Villa. It's gone to Aston Villa. So let's go and find out about that goal. What the? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so it's gone to Aston Villa. It's Emilio Buendia from Aston Villa takes a right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the centre of the goal, and that was assisted by Lucas Digne. So Villa are now 2-0 up at Burnley, and looks like they're coasting, to be quite frank, from listening to, well, reading what's been said in these texts and that are on the BBC website. So yeah, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 2. It's Brentford 2, Southampton 0. It's Burnley 0, Aston Villa 2. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. And it's Crystal Palace 0, Watford 0. And we've had 28 minutes gone and between 28 and 33 minutes gone in the game so far. So let's go back to the chat because I was going through the comments, wasn't I? Joanne says, Ravo, and Raviel says, ha ha, how are you? And James Dunlop says, I was happy for Ellis Sims, who scored for Hearts today. He's on loan from us. Is that right? Oh, fair play to him. Is he a young lad or what's the story, James, with him? James says, good afternoon, everyone. Hoping this is the season Rovers finally get rid of Mowbray. I'd rather Arteta. Even Arteta won't play two wide target men. Not holding my breath, though. Oh, dear. Yeah, tell me more about that, mate, because that sounds a bit bizarre. James Dunlop, Celtic overall deserve the title. What are your thoughts on Rangers reaching the Europa League final? My thoughts about that are that, what are my thoughts about it? I've least said about that the better, to be quite honest. I just hope they don't disgrace themselves in Seville. When they go to their supporters, don't disgrace themselves and disrespect the people from Seville. I haven't got a lot of time for Rangers, to be quite honest. I just don't like all this anti-Catholic nonsense that goes on, but I'm not really I don't really want to talk about that, to be quite frank, because I'll get really angry. James says, good evening. Rather, it's 11:30 at night here. And Taib says, Warren, can you pronounce these names? Laugh out loud. But here we go. All right. So, learn more. John Wee, Jealousy, Ma Raya, and Reminiscence, and Sherlinoria, I think. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. Ravel says, I don't think Celtic deserved the title, James. I think Gerrard's going to. I don't think Celtic deserved the title, James. Right, okay. So why is that? Why don't you think they deserved it? They've been far and away the better side in Scotland this season, so I don't understand how you come to that assessment. But if that's your opinion, that's fine. But I think Gerrard is going to Villa. Oh, I think Gerrard going to Villa really hurt them. They were playing really good when he was there. Just my opinion. No, absolutely fine, mate. I don't agree with it, but I think Celtic would have won the league whether Gerrard was there or not, to be quite frank. I just think Ange has been absolutely superb. He's been absolutely superb, mate. And what he's done there in such a short space of time is not short of remarkable. Joanne says, oh my God, I've been waiting for ages for my friend to come back. She's having a reading. Must be a life reading. Sounds interesting. I hope that she enjoys it, Joanne. James Dunlop says it's fair point, Raphael. Gerrard going did have some effect to Rangers. It did, but I think it's been a bit overstated. That don't forget the guy they brought in. He had a really good track record where he was before. And Joanne says, Ravman, I'm tired. Joanne, can't have a lay down if you're tired. Raviel Burton says, I know how that is, Joanne. I hope you've been safe though. James says Postecoglou really transformed Celtic this season. Watched quite a few games, much faster than when he was at Yokohama Marinos. Yeah, and the other thing about it is as well, he's like brought in some really exciting new players as well. I particularly like the guy who's on the wing. What's his name, Jota or something. He's quality, man. He really is. James Dunlop says Sims is one of our youngsters. If we do get relegated, he would be ideal to have with us in the Championship. Yeah. It'd be good. He'll learn a good trade up there, James, that's for sure. Taib says, would Gerrard have got Rangers to Europa League final? Good question, Taib. I don't know. The thing is with Gerrard, I've got a mate who's a mad Liverpool fan and he can't stand Gerrard, right? Because he thinks that he's he's like Arteta, he thinks he's an arrogant, you know what? And he thinks it's always all about him. James says Mowbray loves a diagonal ball to big wide men and a small centre forward. Bizarre. He brought his commentary mates in to run the club, and the owners, Venkis, are clueless and very hands-off. Yeah, it's not good, is it? That doesn't sound good at all. Sounds a recipe for disaster. As of right now, Mowbray's contract is expiring, and he hasn't heard from the owners about the plans for next season. Still waiting. Venkis have totally destroyed Jack Walker's legacy. Yeah, it sounds like they've made a complete and utter pig's ear of it, to be quite frank. Yeah, because when they took it over, if I remember rightly, you were struggling, either struggling in the Premier League or you just got relegated, and there was a lot of problems there. But it just mystifies how quickly and how badly they've fallen apart. The McManus Gaming says, Joan, have you started a channel yet? Yeah, exactly, Joanne. What's going on with that? That would be really cool. You've got plenty to talk about, mate. So let's see what's going on with these games. And there's been a goal at Selhurst Park. A goal at Selhurst Park. And it's Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. And let's go and see what's happened there. And it looks like Wilfried Zaha scored a penalty in the 31st minute. Let's see if we can find out about that. So a penalty was conceded by Hassane Kamara, Watford, with a handball in the penalty area. And it went to VAR, and a penalty was awarded to Crystal Palace. And then goal. Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. Wilfried Zaha, Crystal Palace converts the penalty with a right-footed shot to the top right corner. So there you go. Palace 1-0 down at Watford 1-0 down at Crystal Palace. And let's have a look at this league table for a sec. So 22, 31. Yeah, so if it stays like that, then they're down. They are, because they would only then be able to get 3 further wins, which would put them, if they won all those games, it would put them on 31 points. And the team in 17th, Leeds, have 34. So there you go. There you go. So it's not looking good for Watford. And James says, when Venky's took over Rovers, Rovers were a more or less safe mid-table Premier League club. Then took over, sacked Allardyce, replaced him with one of the first-team coaches, Steve Keane. And James goes on to say, got relegated under Keane, lots of bad advice from agents has played its part. Yeah, I remember there was loads of trouble with the Venky's, and I remember it. I don't remember all the finer details of it, obviously, because it's not my club, but I do remember there was quite a lot of trouble with them when they first took over. And it seemed like they were making a real pig's ear of it. So it's no surprise, really, that things have gone really badly. Taïb says, Warren, do you think Arsenal were missing a certain type of player when they lost the Champions League final in 2006? Yeah, possibly an 11th man would have been helpful. Not having Jens Lehmann sent off. I don't know, man. I just think we were unlucky in the Champions League final that season. If Henry had taken one of those chances he had, and we'd gone 2-0 up, I think we would have won it. I really do. But that's football, I guess, and we'll never know because we can't go back and replay the game. But yeah, so what do you think, though, Taib? What's your opinion about it? Because you must have an opinion about it, otherwise you wouldn't have put that comment in. But it must have been something that was on your mind. But yeah, I think the big thing about that was us having to play so long with 10 men. And I think he took off the wrong player he took off the wrong player to bring on a specialist goalkeeper because obviously Lehmann had been sent off, so we had to sacrifice an outfield player to bring on a goalkeeper, and I think he made the wrong choice in taking off Perez. I think he should have taken off someone else. Given how deadly Perez was in the attacking third of the pitch. James Dunlop says Jack Walker was a proper owner. Not many of them like him now, unfortunately. No, exactly, there ain't. Our owner certainly ain't in the same mould as bloody Jack Walker, that's for sure. Watford's next game is against us on Wednesday. Not really looking forward to that, to be honest. Mate, that is going to be really intense because if they're still in a shout of staying up, it's going to be a dogfight, mate. It's going to be a dogfight. It will. But if they're down, it might go in your favour, but there again, it might mean that they're just playing for pride and they're wounding it. There could be a wounded animal, and that could be quite dangerous, mate, to be honest. James says, he actually loved the club. Yeah, I think he did, mate. I think he did. And, you know, when you think about how he bankrolled that club and the players that he brought in and stuff like that, and, you know, I don't think if he'd gone there, you would have been able to do all the stuff you did and win those titles. So Taib says, I think there may have been Warren, but you're right about Henry's missed chances. Yeah, it really hurt us, because if we'd gone 2-0 up, I'm convinced we would have won it. I really am. So let's have a look, see what's going on. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. So Uncle Roy's face there says it all, didn't it? Look at his face. He looks like a beaten man, to be quite honest. Bless him. Good old Uncle Roy. So it's half time now. It's Brentford 2, Southampton 0. It's Burnley 0, Aston Villa 2. It's Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. And it's Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. And there's still a couple of minutes left to play in that one. So while we're waiting for the second half, I'm just going to go through some of these YouTube channels. Let me get them up. And right, okay. So the first one is we've got Arsenal Alex. He brings you all things Arsenal, including instant match reactions. We got the Aussie Gooner, really hardcore, passionate Arsenal fan. He's got a criminal amount of subscribers. That guy should have way more people following him. He's got really, really good channel. And yeah, I know it can be a bit brash and whatnot, but he's passionate about Arsenal and I love it. And his content is superb. I'm sorry, but it is. And I absolutely love the fella. I think he's top drawer. And he takes no prisoners. Watching him, like, the way he does his channel and the way he talks and whatnot, it just reminds me of not reminds me, because I've never been doing it, but if you were going in to bat for England, you know, against Australia, and he was playing wicketkeeper, Jesus Christ, he would make your life absolute hell. All the fucking time. And yeah, it's quality. I absolutely love it. He just gives it non-stop. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. He's a top man, top lad. Go and check his channel out. It's brilliant. Diesel Arsenal. He's another great guy. He's really passionate about Arsenal. And he chats about all sorts of things, not just about Arsenal. He talks about all sorts of things to do with different things with life and like films and TV and dating and all sorts of weird and wonderful things, including having me go on there every fortnight to talk about the paranormal. Last one I did was Tuesday just gone. And it was, well, Tuesday this week I did it. And I talked about ghosts. So if that's your bag and you like that sort of stuff, go and check it out because it was great. Really was. Then we got Del Boy Gunner, the one and the only Del Boy Gunner. I love this guy. He's like proper Arsenal. And he hosted a big discussion on his channel last night. There was me, Carl Walsh, Jez Collins, and Del Boy, and we were all talking about Arsenal and about the news that Mikel Arteta had been offered and given a new contract, which he'd signed, and then we're going to have to put up with him for another 3 years and all that carry on. And we sort of looked at all sorts of things about the state of the club and whatnot. And yeah, it went on and on and on. It was wild. It was brilliant. So go and check that out. Gracie-Mae, she's a really passionate young Arsenal fan. She absolutely loves the club. And yeah, she's a great young lady. And she knows a lot about the club. And she wants the best for the club and wants the club to be successful. And she really knows the stuff about the club. Then we've got Jess's channel, Arsenal, the History and More. And I was honoured to be able to have Jez on my channel. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, lunchtime. Well, just after lunch yesterday, about 2:30. Jez and I had a chat for a couple of hours about his life watching Arsenal, and it was absolutely fascinating. I loved talking to the fella. What he doesn't know about Arsenal isn't worth knowing, and we had a good old natter about it and about his experiences and whatnot. Go and check that out, because I'm telling you, it was absolutely fascinating. Please go and check it out and learn more about what Jez is all about and his experiences watching Arsenal. It was superb. Then we got NorthsideLdn. He's another really passionate Arsenal fan, and he's about as honest as they come. He demands success from the club, and he will not accept mediocrity, not any stretch of the imagination. And he's happy for anyone to come on his channel, and all opinions are welcome on his channel. And yeah, he's a top guy. Stephen Featley, he talks about all sorts of things on his channel. He talks about Arsenal, football in general, Formula One, and his channel. He uses his channel to raise awareness and money for the Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So please, guys, go and show the guys some support and help him to raise as much money as he possibly can for that charity, because it's really important. And then last but not least, we've got the one and the only Mr. Carl Walsh. Carl Walsh he's about as passionate an Arsenal fan as you're going to find. And he only talks facts, all right? There's no filters with him. What you see is what you get. And he's die-hard Arsenal. Yes, so go and check his channel out. He was in the discussion last night as well, and he's an absolute top man. I absolutely love the fella. I really do. It's refreshing listening to him, to be quite honest. So yeah, please go and check all these channels out. The links for these channels are in the description of this video. Just click on the one you want to find out about, and it will take you straight to it. So yeah, go and watch their videos, put likes on their videos, subscribe to them, all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. So let's carry on. James says, Warren, even though we eventually got relegated under Keane, at the time, former footballers, media personalities were defending the job that Keane was doing. Utter disgrace. Yeah, some of these media personalities, they're not particularly the most honest people in the world, mate, unfortunately. Taib says, yeah, and I didn't like what happened to Blackburn. I thought it was quite sad, really. And Taib says, I think there may have been, Warren, but you're right about Henry's mischances, Henry's mischances. Yeah, it cost us big time. Great show, Warren. I've been chilling out listening to you. Well, I hope you haven't heard me ranting. I've been ranting most of the time. Kicking off, blocking people. Jesus. I was in a really bad mood, and I wasn't taking no shit at all. I'm telling you, mate. And Craig Malloy, Warren, afternoon, excellent show last night on Del Boy's channel with Jess and Cole. Mate, that show was absolutely wild. It really was. I think we all, I wouldn't say it was enjoyable, but it was therapeutic. I mean, it was nice to talk to people with a like mind and not having any little shits coming in talking crap. But yeah, it was interesting, definitely. James says, Warren, I'm an ethnic Australian like the Aussie Gooner. Know exactly the type of personality he is. Imagine growing up around similar people. Hilarious. Mate, it must have been kicking off left, right and centre. It must have been wild. And James, do you like Aussie rules? Because I love Aussie rules. I'm a massive, massive St Kilda fan. And Taiba says, polling station, Naham on the use. So I've got no idea what you're talking about, Taib. Yeah, James, I'm a massive St Kilda fan, and I thought that Tony Lockett was the greatest thing since sliced bread, mate. I really did. But yeah, I love Aussie rules, mate. I just love it. I just think it's wild. Warren, looking forward to seeing Kenny Ken on your channel on Tuesday evening. Yeah, mate, so am I. I'm really looking forward to that chat as well. I think it'll be excellent. I really do. On Friday, like I said, I had Jez on my channel talking about his life as an Arsenal fan. Please go and check that out because it was fantastic. Listening to Jez telling all his stories and giving his opinions about the club and whatnot, it was brilliant. Absolutely loved it, and I'm so grateful to him to let me have a chat with him and spend that time with him because I really, really enjoyed it. Right, so let's move on. Let's see how we're doing, whether half time has finished yet. Yeah, it should have done. It's just gone 4 o'clock. So hopefully the second half is restarted. So at half time, it was Brentford 0, Brentford 2, Southampton 0, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 0, Wolves 0, and Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. So let's have a look and see if there's any scores in other games up and down the country. So here we go. So in the Scottish Premiership, as we know, Celtic won 4-1 earlier today against Hearts. In the other games, it's currently Hibernian 0, Aberdeen 0. It's Livingston 0, St Johnstone 0, Ross County 0, Motherwell 0, and St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. In the Championship, it's currently, these games have all finished actually. So Birmingham, the results from these games are Birmingham City 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, AFC Bournemouth 1, Millwall 0, Derby County 0, Cardiff City 1, Huddersfield Town 2, Bristol City 0, Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Luton Town 1, Reading 0, Peterborough United 5, Blackpool 0, Preston North End 4, Middlesbrough 1, Sheffield United 4, Fulham 0. Stoke City 1, Coventry City 1. Swansea City 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. And finally, it was West Bromwich Albion 4, Barnsley 0. Now, the big story for me that I was shocked to hear that Luton Town are in with a shout of being promoted back to the Premier League. Now, I remember the last time they were in the Premier League and they beat us in the League Cup final in 88. And honestly, that day was horrific. Horrific. I remember I went to that game with a load of my mates, and at the end of the game, we were just completely stunned. I just went off on my own and went home. I was in such bad mood. A bit like today, really. I just stormed off. Another group of my mates, they went walking around Wembley for hours on end and never said a word to each other. They were just aimlessly walking around. And I don't know what the other lot did, but yeah, it was madness. Absolute madness. Then in League Two, it's currently Barrow 1, Northampton Town 3, Bradford City 1, Carlisle United 0, Bristol Rovers 2, Scunthorpe United 0, Exeter City 0, Port Vale 1, Harrogate Town 0, Sutton United 1, Hartlepool United 0, Colchester United 1, Leyton Orient 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, Mansfield Town 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. And it's half time in that game now. Newport County 0, Rochdale 1, Oldham Athletic 2, Crawley Town 2, Stevenage 2, Salford City 1, and finally Walsall 0, Swindon Town 3. So in the National League, there's any interesting scores there? No. National League North. No, that's all the National League North. National League South. So there you go. Yeah, so that is that. So let's get back on with our feature games. And it's still Brentford 2, Scunthorpe United 0. Barnsley 0, Aston Villa 2. Chelsea 0, Wolves 0. Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. Right, okie doke. So James says, mate, I'm a second generation Melbourne Demons fan. Whole extended family support Melbourne. Finally won the Premiership last season. First time since 1964. Grew up going to the MCG almost every weekend. Blimey. That's brilliant. Oh, fair play and congratulations. You must have been absolutely delighted. James says Tony Lockett was an absolutely fantastic full forward. Yeah, he was, mate. Absolute beast of a player. Was a privilege to see him live quite a few times. Unfortunately, there are no players like him, Dunstall, etc. anymore. Mate, I love Aussie rules. It's because there's just no bullshit with it. Do you know what I mean? You don't get people feigning injuries and all that carry on. And like, I just love the way they carry on when they're playing. Like a scrap can break out amongst a group of players and they just carry on playing around them. I just think it's wild. And I remember years ago, they had a British League in and around. Yeah, it was the whole of the UK. And there was a team based in South London called the London Hawks, and they played in the same kit as Hawthorn. And I got in contact with them, and they invited me up to this party they were having. And the idea was that I was going to meet them, and then I was going to go and play for them, start off in the reserves, see how I got on. And if I was any good, they were going to put me in the first team and stuff like that. I went and bought a bloody mouth guard and all sorts of stuff, right? Anyway, I went to this party. And I'm not a small chap. I'm about 5'11", 6 foot. I'm not joking. I went to this fucking party and I felt like a midget. I went in this room and I'm telling you, there wasn't one fella who was less than about 6'4", and they're about 6'4" wide as well. It was huge. They were huge, absolute beasts of players. And I remember there was this girl there. She took a bit of a shine to me. She thought I was cute because I was quite small compared with the other guys and all the rest of it. So that was quite nice. But what I didn't like was the size of these players that I could see on the opposition. So they invited me to go and watch them play. I went to watch them play. What really scared me was when I got there, right, there was an ambulance on the edge of the pitch, like with the doors open. And I was thinking, fucking hell, what is this? What is this madness? They have to have, it's that bad. They have to have an ambulance on standby. And like within 10 minutes, someone got carted off in the ambulance. And I was just thinking, man, this is a madness. There is no way on earth they're getting me to play in this. It was like people were getting knocked sparko, and it was just a madness. And I just thought, I'm going to have to discreetly disappear. So that's what I did. I disappeared and never went back. It was a madness because if I'd gone and played in those games for London Hawks, I would have been killed, literally fucking killed. And as much as I love Aussie rules, I didn't fancy getting decimated because of it. James Donlop says Dundee are gone. St Johnstone will have to put up with the relegation playoffs this month. Yeah, it's not looking good for those sides, is it, mate? It really isn't. Yeah, so there you go. And let's have a look, see what's going on. And there's been another goal. There's been another goal. My God. And Aston Villa are running amok. They're running amok, people. They're 3-0 up now, away at, where are they playing? Yeah, Burnley, isn't it? They're 3-0 up now at Burnley, and they are decimating Burnley. So it's Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3. So let's see what's going on there. And the third goal for Villa this afternoon has been scored by Watkins in the 52nd minute. And let's see if we can find out anything about that. It was assisted by McGinn. So yeah, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3. Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa header from very close range to the centre of the goal, assisted by John McGinn with a cross following a fast break. So there you have it. Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3, and they are absolutely ripping Burnley apart. So let's have a look and see what the match stats are for some of these games. Let's go to Brentford, and in this game, Brentford currently have 37% possession, and Southampton have 63%. Brentford have had 11 shots, and Southampton have had 11 shots as well. But Brentford have had 4 on target, and Southampton have had 2. Brentford have had 3 corners, Southampton have had 4. And there's been 6 fouls from Brentford and 6 fouls from Southampton. So all in all, all the stats except for the possession stats look fairly quite even, to be honest. But yeah, so but Brentford have the most important stat is that Brentford are 2-0 up. So let's see what's going on in the Burnley Aston Villa game. So here we go, people. Burnley have had 39% possession, 59% possession, and Villa have had 41%. Burnley have had 12 shots, and Villa have had 8. And Burnley have had 5 shots on target. 5 shots on target, and Villa have had now 5 shots on target. Burnley have had 4 corners, and so have Aston Villa. And the foul count is very close as well. Burnley have made 6 fouls, and Villa have made 7. So, as with the game we looked at just now, it looks fairly even. But Villa are actually romping away with it. 3-0 up now. So they're doing really well. And there's been another goal. Yeah, there's been another goal. And this time, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Started playing the intro. But yeah, Chelsea have taken a 1-0 lead. They're 1-0 up at home to Wolves. So let's go and find out about that. Excuse me. So a penalty was conceded by Romain Sace, Wolverhampton Wanderers, after a foul in the penalty area. A penalty from Romelu Lukaku draws a foul in the penalty area, and there's a VAR decision, and it says penalty. And Chelsea 1, Wolves 0. Romelu Lukaku steps up and converts the penalty with a left-footed shot to the bottom left corner. So fair play to Lukaku. Timo Werner misses another chance. Chelsea are now 2-0 up, and it looks like Lukaku's got another one. So Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Romelu Lukaku, Chelsea right-footed shot from outside the box to the bottom right corner, assisted by Christian Pulisic. So yeah, there you go. Chelsea now in cruise control, and they're 2-0 up against Wolves. So fantastic stuff. Well, fantastic stuff for Chelsea, not for the rest of us, but there you go. So yeah, Chelsea scored 2 goals in quick succession. And I think that Lukaku got both of them. Yeah, so, well, shows you, doesn't it? So it's Brentford 2, Southampton 0. It's Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3. Chelsea 2, Wolves 0. And Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. So there you go. Starting to hot up now. There's just over half an hour left to play. Yeah, just over half an hour to go. So let's go and see what's going on with the chat. James, great stories. 5'11" is kind on the small side for the AFL. You need to be special to make it professional. Anyone can play in an amateur level, though. No, but these were amateurs. But because they'd grown up with it all their lives, they were going to be far better than what me and the other British guys that were in the team. I mean, the ones that were in the London Hawks first team, they were all like just retired pros, or they were still sort of playing at a fairly senior level, but they were like traveling around on working holidays and stuff like that. So I guess they probably, when they had to play in the reserve team, there's one level I was going to play at, they probably used to get really frustrated because we wouldn't have a clue about what we were doing. Do you know what I mean? But it was pretty full on, I have to say. But as soon as I saw that ambulance parked up on the side of the oval, of the cricket oval, and where was it? Somewhere in North London. We went to this cricket pitch because they played the games on a cricket pitch, and I saw that, and I said to my mate, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm not. Look at that. They've got a fucking ambulance parked up on the edge of the pitch. But, yeah, it was mad. It was mad. It really was. But, James, are you based in Australia or are you in the UK? James Dunlop says, bloody hell, Lukaku actually scored not once, but twice. Yeah, he's done the business, mate. It's a bit of a madness. So, yeah. Jez, if you're in the chat, when are you doing your next history show? If you want to put it in the chat, then I'll make sure I read it out and highlight it for you, mate, so you can let people know about it, because those shows are wild. I absolutely love them. James says, I've lived in Japan for a few years now, from Melbourne originally. Okay, fair enough. I think Aussie Gooner's from Sydney, isn't he? But yeah, mate, I absolutely love AFL. How do you get to watch the AFL though? Because I've got an app on my iPhone where I can see highlights of the games and stuff like that. But other than that, I ain't got a clue. And James says, junior Aussie rules suffers a bit because it can be dangerous. Can be dangerous. Jesus, it's like full on fucking madness. Football soccer has a bigger junior participation level. Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. It should come with a government health warning. It should, because it is bonkers. It absolutely is. But I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just, I don't know what it is about it, but I just love it. I just like, it's fast, it's aggressive, there's no bullshit. Do you know what I mean? I just love it. It's exciting as well as always something kicking off or happening. So let's. So in the games we're covering, mainly it's Brentford 2, Southampton 0. It's Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3, Chelsea 2, Wolves 0, and it's Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. So let's have a quick look at the Premier League table. Right, so here we go. This is the table as is. Watford, or Norwich, we know, are already down. Watford have played 35. They got 22 points. Then next are Everton. They played 33 games with 32 points. And then it's Leeds, having played 34 games, and they have 34 points. So they've got 4 points. They've got 4 games left. The maximum that Leeds can get is 46 points. The maximum that Watford can get is 3 games left, is 31. So unless they win, if they win today, they'll be on 25, and there are 3 games left to play, and they could end up getting 34. But the problem they've got as well is they got a goal difference, which is 4 less than Leeds. So if they don't win today, I think they're done. I really do. I think they're done. And so let's have a look. Yeah, so they're losing at the moment. So if they don't get a couple of goals from somewhere, they're down. So let's have a look at the fixtures for tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got, as you can see, we've got Arsenal against Leeds, Leicester against Everton, Norwich against West Ham United, and Manchester City against Newcastle United. So guys, what do you think is going to happen in the games tomorrow? What do you think? Excuse me. Who do you think will win these games? I'm going for Arsenal to beat Leeds. I think Leicester and Everton will be a draw. Norwich against West Ham, I think that could possibly be a draw. And Man City against Newcastle, I think Man City will slightly edge it. So there you go. Right, Taib's coming and he's talking about crocodiles. Fucking hell. Jeez, what is he saying? Crocodiles can go through 4,000 teeth over a lifetime. Mate, crocodiles are wild, Taib. You don't want to be messing with a crocodile or alligator or a caiman for that matter. They are proper animals. They're not to be messed with. Not to be messed with, mate. And they were around in the time of the dinosaurs. and they survived the meteor impact. And when you look at them, you can see they even look like fucking dinosaurs. Mate, they're relentless. Absolutely relentless. I wouldn't go near one for anything. James Dunlop says, I think you will beat Leeds, and I hope to God that you do beat them. I think we will, mate. Now, of course, excuse me, sorry, guys. I think we will beat them, and yeah, I think we will, and I hope for your sake that we do, mate. And because the last thing I want to see is Everton being relegated. That would just be ridiculous. Dave says, Warren, I'm wild too. Laugh out loud, mate. I know that. I've known that for a while that you're wild, mate. You're proper off key, mate. Like, if what they should do, they should have you in the English dictionary and say, if it's where it said mad, when they have an entry for mad or off key, they should put Taib Hussein, a good example of a madman. Only joking, mate. Craig Malloy says, what do you call an alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. These two. It's just unbelievable. Oh, mate. You don't want to be messing with bloody alligators and crocodiles, let me tell you. They are not to be messed with. They are serious animals. Serious. Okay, let's see what's going on. So it's currently Brentford 2, Southampton 0, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3, Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. So there you have it. So you can see the goal scorers there as well. So what do people think about who will win the Premier League? Where would you put your money? Liverpool or Man City? What do you think? And what did you think about Man City getting dumped out of the Champions League the other night? And bearing that in mind, they got dumped out of the Champions League. If you were the owners of Man City, would you sack Pep? What would you do? Would you sack him or would you keep him on? And what would you do? Bearing in mind, he's not won the Champions League since he left Barcelona and moved away from Messi. So, you have to ask the question, don't you? Later today, we've got 2 5:30 kickoffs. Brighton against Manchester United and Liverpool against Tottenham. What do you think is going to happen in those games as well? So let's have a look at this. So if Tottenham win today, they will go 1 point clear of Arsenal, but Arsenal will have a game in hand over Spurs. So that will be interesting. But what do you think about those things that I've just mentioned? So it looks like there's been a substitution at Turf Moor. Eric Pieters is on for Burnley, replacing Ashley Barnes. Aston Villa have also made a change as Ashley Young comes on for Danny Ings. Michael Brown, former Manchester City midfielder, on BBC Radio 5 Live, he says it has been quiet from Burnley. At 3-0, it becomes a difficult situation. One step too far. There's a bit of a fight. There's a bit of fight, but they are not affecting the game. There you go. So Michael Brown has given his verdict. It's Chelsea 3. Chelsea got another one. Let's see. Let's have a see, because it said just now that they were 3-0 up, but I can't see that. It's not showing me anything on there. Chelsea 2, Wolves 0. Huge chance for Wolves as the ball suddenly drops to an unmarked Wang. He-Chan is in the box, but Edouard Mendy makes himself big and saves with his torso. Chelsea 3, end-to-end. Chelsea 3, Wolves 0. End-to-end, muted Kovacic almost wraps it up as he surges into the box before forcing a fine save from Jose Sarr at the near post. But that's 2-0, sorry, not 3-0. Brentford 2, Southampton 0. It's a free kick. Brentford had a free kick in a goalmouth scramble, and eventually Matthias Janssen shoots over. Ivan Toney was standing on the ground, but just couldn't get up in time to shoot. So there you go, guys. Not much happening at the moment, unfortunately. So currently, with just over, anything between 19 and 13 minutes left. It's Brentford 2, Southampton 0, Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3, Chelsea 2, Wolves 0, and Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. So there you go. There you have it. Let's see what's going on with the chat. Taib said, did you know that slugs have not one but 4 noses? No, funnily enough, Taib, I didn't know that, mate. How many noses has Arteta got, I wonder? And Craig says, I've deleted all the German contacts from my phone. It's hands-free. Fucking hell. You two are absolutely mad. I'm telling you, if you were at school together and in the same class, it would have been hell for your teacher. It would have been. The McManus Gaming says, you'd keep him. Who's better than Pep? I'll happily swap. They can have Arteta back and we'll have Pep. Yeah, mate, my opinion entirely. That's what I think too. But I'd like to have a long chat with him about why he thinks he hasn't been able to win the Champions League since he's left Barca. I'd really like to know what that is all about, because he should have done. I mean, manager of his talents and class should have won it since he left Barca. I just don't understand what's happened there. James Donlott says, I could be wrong, but Man City and PSG will never win the UEFA Champions League. They may have all the money and world-class talent, but how many more times will both of those clubs keep failing in the UCL? 100%, mate. And you have to ask yourself the question, why? Why is it that they've both been unable to do it? Do you know what I mean? And particularly City. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why it is, unless there's a lack of, there's something in the character of the players in these massive games, stopping them from getting over the line and winning in these Champions League fixtures. I just don't get it. Darren Sullivan, more rows with AS this afternoon on Facebook. Arteta out. 100%, Darren. At last, someone's talking some sense. Not that the people that aren't in this chat haven't been talking sense to, because they have. I'm talking about in a wider perspective, mate. But what's AS? Can you enlighten me? I'm not sure what that is, mate, unfortunately. And Del Boy Gunner TV, he says Craig, laughing emojis. Yeah, Craig's a special one. He really is. Craig and Taib are both very, very special. I used to have a Chinese girlfriend. I left her after a few weeks when I realised she was the wrong one. Oh, Jesus. That poor woman, Taib. I'd say it was quite draining being in a relationship with you, mate. No, I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking. But I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously wasn't the right one for you, fella. You'll find the right one. Don't worry. It will happen. And whenever that happens, the young lady will be very, very lucky, mate. So let's go and see what's going on with these games. See if there's been any more action. And there has. There's been a goal at Stamford Bridge, people. There's been a goal at Stamford Bridge. Let's find out about what's happened there. And it's now Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. With just over 8 minutes left to play, and it's all in the melting pot because Machado Truncial has scored thanks to an assist from Thomas Oliveira. It's Chelsea 2, Wolves 1. Let's have a look at see what happened. So, a goal for Wolves. Truncial of Wolves took a left-footed shot from the outside of the box to the top left corner, and it was assisted by Chinchico. Yeah, it was assisted by Chinchico following a fast break. So there you go. Chelsea are now 2-1 up. had their margin of victory halved. So the question is now, will Chelsea hold on, or will Wolves get an equaliser before the game ends, or even go on and get a winner as well? So there you go. Yeah, it's Chelsea 2, Wolves 1. The other games, and there's been another goal at Brentford. And here we go. Goals are starting to fly in now, people. Goals are starting to fly in, and Brentford have got a third one by the sounds of it. So let's go and check that out. Yeah, Brentford have scored a third one with Aya in the 79th minute. Let's go and find out all about that. So, goal, Brentford 3, Southampton 0. Christopher Aya, Brentford, right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the centre of the goal, assisted by Christian Norgard. So, it's Brentford 3, Southampton 0. And both clubs have made a substitution. Brentford have brought on Shandon Baptiste, who replaces Brian Mbeumo, and Southampton have brought on Oriel Romeu to replace Stuart Armstrong. So there you go. It's all really starting to liven up now. So the scores at present are it's Brentford 3, Southampton 0, and there is 4 minutes left to play in that one. It's Burnley 0, Aston Villa 3, 4 minutes to play in that one. It's Chelsea 2, Wolves 1, 4 minutes to play in that one. And then finally, it's Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0, and there's 10 minutes to go with that one. So there you go. It's all on a knife edge, really, except for the Brentford game and the Aston Villa game. Well, it's not all on a knife edge everywhere. The Chelsea Wolves game and the Palace Watford games, are both on a massive knife edge. But the other two, they look fairly comfortable. It'd be a major turn up and shock if both the teams that are trailing in those games suddenly made miraculous turnaround and pulled those games out of the bag. It really would. I can't see it happening myself, to be honest, but there you go. So let's see what's going on. Brentford bring on teenager Nathan Young-Coombs, and the lad is making his professional debut, and he's replacing Brian Mbeumo. So fair play to Nathan Young-Coombs. Hope your first game, your first appearance for Brentford goes well for you, son, and that you do yourself proud. Substitution, Chelsea change at the back as Malang Sarr replaces captain Cesar Azpilicueta. So yeah, there you go. Not long to go now. Look at that. Bristol Rovers are 7-0 up. They're in third place, and not Northampton have dropped into the playoff spots. BBC Sport has put out a message saying Ebu Adams, equaliser at Mansfield, moves Forest Green Rovers into the top spot. Bristol Rovers are 4-0 up at Scunthorpe United. If they win by 5 or more goals, then Northampton. Oh, sorry. If they win by 5 more goals than Northampton, they will go up automatically. They couldn't, could they? That's the question, isn't it? So let's see what's going on. Let's go. You look, Brentford 7-0 up against Scunthorpe, and there's still some minutes left to play, so they could add to their total yet, even. So 4 minutes left. They were 2-0 up at half time, and in the second half, they've absolutely destroyed Scunthorpe United. So let's see. And Burnley have scored. Burnley have scored, people. Let's go and check. Burnley have pulled a goal back. So let's go and find out all about that. And it's been scored by corner in the 3rd minute of added on time at the end of the game. And let's see if we can find out more about that goal. Yeah, so Maxwell Cornet, Burnley takes a left-footed shot from the centre of the box. So, yeah, 3-1 now. I think they've left it too late to launch an incredible comeback. But you never know. Football is football. You never can predict what's going to happen. So the 2 games have finished. Brentford have won by 3-0 against Southampton. Burnley have lost by 3-1 at Aston Villa. The 2 games remaining that are waiting to finish are Chelsea against Wolves. Well, Chelsea lead by 2-1. Chelsea are 2-1 up, as I say, thanks to goals from Lukaku. He scored in the 56th and 58th minutes today. The one in the 56th minute was a penalty, and then Wolves pulled one back from Machado Truncial in the 79th minute, and Pulisic made an assist for Chelsea, and Thomas Oliveira made an assist for Wolves. So there you have it. And the other game is currently still Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. Wilfried Zaha scored in the 31st minute from the penalty spot to give Palace a 1-0 lead. And Watford are facing relegation in the face now. And they've had a player sent off as well, which makes their task even harder. And that player was Kamara in the 69th minute. So their fate, I'm afraid, I think is almost done. They need to score a couple of goals. Otherwise, they're gone. So, yeah, if they lose this, the maximum amount of points they can get will be 31. And the bottom club outside of the bottom three is Leeds, and they have 34 points. So if they lose today, that's it, done and dusted. And then there'll only be one relegation place that still needs to be decided. So there you go. Let's follow these games. So we're into stoppage time now in both the outstanding games. Chelsea are trying to slow down Wolves' free kick. Is fairly nervy now. Chelsea with a late corner, and there's just seconds left now. Yeah, there can't be much longer to go in these games, I'm sure. They played 5 minutes of added on time at Stamford Bridge, and it's still Chelsea 2, Wolves 1. And then in the game at Selhurst Park, it's Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. And there's 1 minute of time remaining in the game at Selhurst Park as well. So it's been a great afternoon. I've really enjoyed this afternoon, guys. You really cheered me up, so thank you very much. And I'm sorry if I was a bit stroppy earlier. But, you know, Arsenal Football Club for me is everything. And I'm not going to apologise for loving my club. I'm not. And wanting the best for it. So when I get clowns like that, taking liberties with me, because I think that guy was taking the piss, to be quite honest, I'm going to give it back. I'm sorry, but I am. So let's see what's going on with the chat. James Dunlop says, in League 2, Forest Green are drawing 2-2 at Mansfield, and Exeter are 1-0 down to Port Vale. Forest Green will be champions on goal difference. Blimey. I can remember them playing in the Southern League. It's crazy, isn't it? And James Dunlop says, Bristol Rovers are scraping a 7-0 lead, he says, over already relegated Scunthorpe as well. Yeah, that's mad. They're just about hanging on, and they've scrapped their way to a 7-0 win, mate, haven't they? Jesus. Chelsea needed that win today. Before today, their recent form was worrying. Sounds like they are finally solving the takeover. Yeah, it looks like that's all going through. So that will lift a big cloud over the club, I'm sure. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that. It'll be interesting to see what the final outcome of that is. Craig Malloy says Arsenal under 18s have put 5 past Tottenham. Just get in there, the youth. Go on, you Gunners. Fair play to them. And James Dunlop says Forest Green are champions of League 2 full time. Congratulations to Forest Green. Fair play. like I say, I remember them playing in the Southern League against a team local to me. So fair play to them. And yeah, it was that day was just a madness when I went to see Forest Green play. It was bonkers. James Dunlop says it's 2-2 at Chelsea. Oh my God, James! Wow, let's go and check that out. And it finished 2-2. Chelsea 2, Wolves 2. They've equalised. Jesus, what the hell's going on at that club? It's a madness. So let's see if we can find out about that. So there you go. Ended Chelsea 2, Wolves 2. And the late goal was scored by Connor Cody in the 7th minute of added on time. So Chelsea pegged back, and they managed to get a point at home against Wolves. And in the other game, the only outstanding game left in the Premier League this afternoon is Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. And that's just finished as well. It's Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. And yes, Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. Zaha with the goal in the 31st minute from the penalty spot to hand victory to Crystal Palace. And sadly, people, those results do have a massive impact for Watford. And as you can see there, that means that Watford has sadly been relegated. That's what that notification was that you just heard on my phone. Let me just read that out to you. So it says, yes, sake. Well, it's gone. It's gone. Sake, honestly. So where's this story then? Fuck's sake, what a piece of shit. No, that's coming off my phone. Telling me they've got a story about there and it's not even there. Bullshit. Yeah, so Watford have been relegated. They played 35 and they have 22 points. The maximum amount of points they can now get is 31, which means that they can't catch the fourth bottom club, who are Leeds United, so they're down. So all that needs to be settled now with the relegation places is the final relegation spot, which sadly at the moment Everton are occupying. They are 2 points behind Leeds United, but Everton do have a game in hand. But when you're down the bottom, games in hand don't really count for that much, especially if you're in a bad run of form. So let's see what happens. It rolls all on to next week. Let's quickly just go through the results. So in the Premier League today, it ended Brentford 3, Southampton 0. Burnley 1, Aston Villa 3. Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0. In the Scottish Premiership, it ended Celtic 4, Heart of Midlothian 1, which almost guarantees Celtic their league title. Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 1, St Johnstone 1, Ross County 0, Motherwell 1, St Mirren 2, Dundee 0. In the Championship, it was Birmingham City 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, Bournemouth 1, Millwall 0, Derby County 0, Cardiff City 1, Huddersfield Town 2, Bristol City 0, Manchester City 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Luton Town 1, Reading 0, Peterborough United 5, Blackpool 0, Preston North End 4, Middlesbrough 1, Sheffield United 4, Fulham 0, Stoke City 1, Coventry City 1, Swansea City 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1, and last but not least, West Bromwich Albion 4, Barnsley 0. So in League 2, it's ended Barrow 1, Northampton 3, Bradford City 2, Carlisle United 0, Exeter City 0, Port Vale 1, Harrogate Town 0, Sutton United 2, Hartlepool 0, Colchester United 2, Leyton Orient 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, Mansfield Town 2, Forest Green Rovers 2, Newport County 0, Rochdale 2, Oldham Athletic 3, Crawley Town 3, Stevenage 4, Salford City 2, and finally Walsall 0, Swindon Town 3. Right, so let's have a look at the league tables. So if we go to League 1, so in Championship, first of all, let's have a look at the Championship table. Okay, so Fulham promoted. Looks like, yeah, they've been promoted as champions. Yeah, they've been promoted as champions. Bournemouth have been promoted alongside them. And then in the playoff places, we've got Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United and Luton Town. Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Millwall all miss out. So that'd be interesting. It'll probably be the playoff semi-finals will be Huddersfield against Luton Town and Notts Forest against Sheffield United. Right, so let's look at League 1. Oh, sorry, not League 1. Let's go back. And in the Championship, the teams that have been relegated, sadly, are Barnsley, Derby County and Peterborough United. Let's move to League 1. And the promoted teams from League 1 are Wigan Athletic and Rotherham United. And in the playoffs, we have Milton Keynes Dons, Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland and Wycombe Wanderers. Just missing out are Plymouth Argyle, Oxford United and Bolton Wanderers and Portsmouth. And then relegated sides are Gillingham, Doncaster Rovers, AFC Wimbledon, and Crewe Alexander. So commiserations to those sides, but congratulations to all the sides who've promoted and have made it to the playoffs. So let's have a look at League Two. So League Two champions, as James Dunlop quite rightly said, Forest Green Rovers are promoted as champions on goal difference from Exeter City. Bristol Rovers are also promoted. In the playoffs, we have Northampton Town, Port Vale, Swindon Town, and Mansfield Town. Missing out by 1 point, Sutton United. And then relegated sides are Oldham Athletic and Scunthorpe United. Really sad day for those two clubs. Let's see if it's got anything about the National League. Hold on, it's just a second, and we'll see if we can get that up. So in the National League, there's still a few games left to play. So there's nothing been. There's still 2 or 3 games left to play in the National League, but Stockport County have got a game in hand and are 3 points clear, so it'd be hard to see that they won't get promoted. Wrexham and Solihull Moors are in the mix as well. And then for the playoffs, it looks like you've got Halifax, Notts County, Grimsby Town and Chesterfield. All those clubs are ex-Football League sides, so that will be interesting to see what happens there. Let's go back. So, as we were saying, Watford are relegated. Just means that there's one relegation place left that needs to be decided. So, let's go and look at the chat. Do Chelsea want to finish outside the UCL places? Yeah, it certainly looks like it, mate, doesn't it? That would be mad if that was to happen. It really would. Will Thomas Tuchel be there next season? That is the question. Well, you have to ask yourself, if it continues like this and they do fail to qualify for the Champions League, I think he'll be out the door. It wouldn't surprise me if they lose the cup final as well and they have a really poor end to the season, which looks like they are at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me if he got sacked, even if they do qualify for the Champions League, because that club are relentless. They don't take failure whatsoever, do they? James Dunlop says, my local team, Tranmere, won 1-0, but couldn't make a playoff. We finished 9th in League Two. Overall, Tranmere are not good enough to go up, but there's always next season. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And I'm sure they'll be back soon enough. But yeah, there's obviously room for improvement there. So let's keep our fingers crossed for next season. And hopefully they can move forward and develop the team and they'll be stronger next season. Roy Hodgson has finally been relegated from the Premier League. He had a tricky job on his hands, and the Watford owners are the reason why they went down, not just the players. Yeah, 100%, mate. James Dunlop says, cheers, Warren. Great stream. Take care, mate. See you all soon, everyone. And you, James, thanks very much for coming in and giving us your insights. I really enjoyed chatting to you and listening to your thoughts about the games. It was great, as it always is with you, mate. So I just want to be a big up to everyone who's been in the chat. So we've had the Blue Podcast, we've had Taib Hussain, we've had Del Boy Gunner. Don't forget, everyone, subscribe to Del Boy Gunner's channel. Excellent channel and a top bloke. And Joanne Smith as well. Please, Joanne, go and start your channel. Please, please, please. The Manus Gaming, big up to him. And please, everyone, go and subscribe to his channel. James Dunlop. Manus Stevenson. Thank you for coming in, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back soon. And Cheeky Oniyuki says, big up to him. Nice to see you again, mate. Raphael Burton. Jez Collins. James. Not sure if I mentioned this Raphael person, but big up to him anyway. Craig Malloy, big up to Craig, top man. Darren Sullivan, big up to you, mate. Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate your contribution, mate. Thank you so, so much. So, yeah, that's everyone who's been in the chat this afternoon. So thank you very, very much to all of you. I hope you enjoyed the show. Really hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for spending the afternoon with me and watching all the drama as it unfolded. And as always, it was a mad afternoon. So, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Please don't forget to put a like on the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also, please don't forget to share the content around. Don't forget, on Tuesday evening at 7:15, I'm going to have Kenny Ken on my channel to talk about his life as a football fan. So that will be absolutely fascinating, I'm sure. Also on Tuesday, I will be doing my Premier League preview video. That'll probably come out as it usually does, in the afternoon. So please keep your eyes open for that. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. Anyway, like I say, have a great rest of your day. Take care of your loved ones and all your friends and your families. And please remember to show some love and kindness around the world. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. All the best. Bye for now.